Ever wondered if the ancient Egyptians had a sense of humor? Well, they sure did. And it was, let's just say, a bit windy. Now hold on to your sides because we're about to blow you away with some ancient Egyptian comedy gold. Picture this. Two figures, locked in fierce combat, but this isn't your typical battle. No, my friends, this is a fart battle. Yes, you heard it right. The ancient Egyptians, renowned for their pyramids and sphinxes, also had a lighter side. A side that found humor in the most human of activities, breaking wind. These fart battles were depicted in their drawings, showcasing their unique sense of humor. Just imagine, two opponents, farting at each other with such vigor, their rivals would be blown away. Literally. Now that's what I call a gas war. Now before you start thinking that this is all made up, let me assure you, it's not. These depictions of fart battles were found in the tombs of the ancient Egyptians, giving us a glimpse into their daily lives and their sense of humor. They weren't just about building grand structures and worshipping their gods. They also knew how to have fun, even if it was a bit gassy. These fart battles were probably a source of great entertainment, a way for them to lighten up their often serious lives. After all, even in ancient times, everyone needed a good laugh. And what better way to do that than a good old-fashioned fart battle? So the next time you think of ancient Egypt, don't just picture the pyramids, the Sphinx, or the River Nile. Also, imagine two ancient Egyptians in a fierce fart battle, their faces red with effort, trying to out-fart each other. It's an image that's sure to bring a smile to your face. So there you have it. Ancient Egyptians were not just about pyramids and hieroglyphs, they also knew how to let one rip. Now let's delve deeper into the world of mummies. Think mummification was the exclusive club of the rich and famous in ancient Egypt. Think again. Let's dive a bit deeper into the world of ancient Egyptian mummies, where one size certainly did not fit all. You see, mummification wasn't just for the pharaohs and the uber-rich. Oh no, even your average Joe of the Nile could aspire to get all wrapped up for the afterlife. Imagine this. You're in ancient Egypt, and you're not exactly flush with cash. You can't afford the gold and jewels, the elaborate sarcophagus and the fancy tomb. But fear not, the ancient Egyptians had a mummification package to suit every budget. Yes, you heard it right, folks. It was a mummy market out there. For the pharaohs and the loaded, there was the deluxe package. You know, the full works. Your body would be carefully preserved, your organs neatly removed and placed in sacred canopic jars, and your body would be wrapped in the finest linen, covered in a resin to keep you looking fresh for eternity. But what if you're just an average ancient Egyptian, working your 9-to-5 job building pyramids? Well, for you, there were budget options. Fewer steps, less fuss, but still, you'd get your ticket to the afterlife. Your body would be wrapped in a simple piece of linen, and voila, you're all set for the journey to the great beyond. And for the poorest, there was an even simpler version. You'd be placed in the ground, wrapped in linen, and the proper spells would be recited to ensure your soul's safe passage to the afterlife. No frills, but hey, you're a mummy now. So even in death, ancient Egyptians had options. A mummy for every budget, how democratic. Now let's travel beyond Egypt. Egypt might have cornered the market on mummies, but they certainly didn't have a monopoly. Now let's take a detour from the pyramids and sphinxes to a place you might not expect on our mummy tour, South America. Almost 2,000 years before the Egyptians started mummifying their cats, the Chinchorro people were already wrapping up their loved ones with a bit of a DIY feel. Located in what's now southern Peru and northern Chile, these early mummy makers were real pioneers. They didn't have fancy tombs or gold-laden sarcophagi, but they did have a flair for mummification that would have made any Egyptian pharaoh green with envy. The Chinchorro mummies are a sight to behold, but if you're thinking they might not be up to the Egyptian standard, you'd be wrong. Our Chinchorro friends had a knack for preservation. They would carefully remove the skin, clean the bones, stuff the body with reeds and clay, and then reassemble it all like a life-size jigsaw puzzle. And the finishing touch, a lovely clay mask to give the mummy a, let's say, homely appearance. But enough about the past, let's fast forward to the present. Today, in the lush tropical highlands of Papua New Guinea, mummification is still alive and kicking. Well, not literally kicking, of course, that would be a whole other kind of video. The folks there have a rather unique method of mummification. They dry out the bodies and then give them a good old coating of red clay. It's like a spa day that lasts forever. So whether it's the ancient Chinchorro people of South America or the modern-day inhabitants of Papua New Guinea, mummification continues to be a fascinating way of commemorating the departed. And it's not just an Egyptian thing, it's a worldwide phenomenon. So it turns out, mummification is quite the global phenomenon. Now let's meet a very special lady. Forget about beauty sleep, this lady has been keeping her youthful looks for over 2,000 years. Meet Xinzhui, the most well-preserved mummy ever discovered. Xinzhui, also known as the Lady of Dai, has been turning heads in the afterlife for over 2 millennia. She died around 163 BC, but let me tell you, she still looks fabulous. So, who was Xinzhui? Well, she was the wife of the Marquis of Dai during the Han Dynasty in China. She lived a life of luxury, and it seems she took her beauty secrets to the grave. When she was unearthed in the mid-20th century, scientists were gobsmacked. They found her body incredibly well preserved, with all her internal organs still intact. That's right, even her heart was in place, a rare find in mummies. But it wasn't just her organs that were well preserved. Her skin was still soft and moist, and she had her own hair. She even had type A blood in her veins. Talk about attention to detail. And you know how we all complain about stiff joints in the morning? Not Xinzhui. Her limbs were still flexible after 2,000 years. But wait, there's more. When the scientists performed a CT scan, they found that her veins were still filled with blood. It's almost as if she was having a really long nap. Now you may be wondering how she managed to stay so well preserved. The secret lies in a mysterious red liquid found in her coffin. This liquid, which is still being studied by scientists, seems to have played a key role in preserving Xinzhui's body. So there you have it, folks. The story of Xinzhui, the most well-preserved mummy ever found. She's a testament to the advanced mummification techniques of ancient China. The Lady of Dai continues to captivate scientists and historians with her remarkable preservation, proving that beauty truly can stand the test of time. Who knew mummification could be a path to eternal beauty? Now brace yourselves as we journey into pop culture. From the tombs of the ancients to the silver screen, mummies have made quite the leap. Over the years, these wrapped wonders have transitioned from sacred symbols to our favorite frightful figures. Let's take a trip back to the early 20th century. The year was 1903, and Bram Stoker, the chap who gave us the neck-nibbling Count Dracula, penned a novel called The Jewel of the Seven Stars. This tome introduced us to an enthralling Egyptian princess who fancied coming back from the dead. A bit of a party trick, wouldn't you say? Well, this was the first time mummies were presented as supernatural villains, and oh boy did people love it. But the real game changer came in 1932. Imagine sitting in a dark, smoky theater, the excitement palpable as the projector whirs to life. On the screen appears a figure, wrapped from head to toe in ancient bandages, eyes glowing with an eerie light. This was the unforgettable image of Boris Karloff's portrayal of a mummy. His bone-chilling performance not only gave the audience collective goosebumps, but also cemented the mummy as a mainstream monster. After Karloff's iconic role, mummies began to pop up everywhere, from comic books to cartoons, from video games to vending machine toys. Can you believe it? These once revered and sacred figures were now entertaining us with their slow, shuffling walks and dramatic unraveling bandages. And let's not forget the Mummy's grand return in the late 90s with the blockbuster The Mummy series. These films took the mummy from the crypts of horror to action-packed adventures, showing us that mummies can indeed be versatile stars. And that's a wrap. Or should we say, that's a wrap of bandages. So, the next time you watch a mummy on screen, remember, they might just be a fart-battling, budget-conscious, world-traveling beauty. Until next time, stay curious.